My fair citizens of Sodium City, today is going to be a little bit of a different video because I'm very pissed off and I'm about to tell you why. But before I tell you why I'm pissed off, let me give you a little bit of backstory that kind of explains why I'm pissed off. So every 3 months, Wizards of the Coast gives content creators 24-hour early access to a new set, which is really cool. Now, since this is only for content creators, you're actually able to link up with other content creators since you end up playing against them only. You're able to find them on Twitch, find other communities to be a part of. It's just a really cool ability to network. And for this early access, you actually have all of the cards unlocked. So not only do you get to showcase a lot of the cards and a lot of the new deck ideas that people have, but you're also showing the viewers what cards are actually performing relatively well or giving them different ideas so they kind of know what to use their wild cards for. Because not everyone is just going to be able to dump all their money, put their dick on the table, and buy the entire new set, right? It is valuable information to get, and a lot of times that's why people watch the early access stuff. I will also say that probably for about 95 to 100% of Magic creators, if you're doing a live stream for the 24-hour early access, your numbers are going to be abysmal. It's almost always the worst that they always are. So monetarily speaking, these early access events are actually pretty bad for streamers, but we do it a lot just for the community, just to kind of showcase just everything that is there, and also to link up with other content creators. It's just nice, out of the norm type of things that we get to do. It's kind of cool. This program was announced on January 23rd of 2020, and I've been in it since the inception. This program was ran through Stream Elements, which is a really big streaming platform that most or a lot of streamers go through. But what they did is they would put challenges up in this little section for sponsorships and things of that nature. So it would be like play Magic Arena on stream for 3 hours, and then 5 hours, and then 20 hours, or whatever, and it would be a month period or a 2-month period, however long it was. Now these challenges, whenever they were completed, you would get things like codes for gems, individual card rewards. You would get just like little things like that here and there. However, some of the challenges that you would get were also kind of odd. It was like, get 7 wins in a challenge, or it would be create a deck with your community by them choosing one of these 5 cards, or something of that nature. So they were just kind of trying to involve your community, but also direct your content in a specific way. But they did curate for like standard, historic, limited. They did different formats. So you would get rewarded if you did all of them, but most people didn't. For the most part, what I did is I would do the challenges that you would redeem it for how much you played Magic Arena on stream and for rating other MTG streamers. I think there was probably a couple other ones that you would do every once in a while. It was like play a couple games with a viewer, or it was like play games with viewers for 3 hours, and then you would just send them a link to your VOD, and they would just approve it. They would look at it, approve it, and then send you the code. So all that aside, it was right about October-ish to where I started getting completely cut off from all content creator communication. I started not getting any challenges in the content creator dashboard, or any of that stuff. There were quite a few content creators that brought this up, and it just seemed like most of us or all of us were getting completely ghosted by Wotc themselves. But going back to the actual announcement of the program, they said that this is a permanent ongoing program. Once you're in, with no need to reapply or wonder when new events begin. We'll always have new challenges from week to week and month to month, rotating at regular cadence, so there's always something new and interesting to do with your community. So they were obviously intending it to be permanent and an ongoing program. Clearly wasn't, clearly isn't. And then you'll never have to reapply or wonder when new events begin. Whenever there was an event, we always had to wonder because we were never really notified until it was kind of last minute, usually, or last week-ish, right? So October, November, December starts rolling around of 2020. And I'm still trying to get in hold with Wotc as far as their press team, their creators team, anywhere I can really get a hold of them, just trying to get an interview with a developer or a project manager or really anyone there, just trying to get some general answers of questions that the community has had that just haven't gotten answered at all. Because every time I'll see an interview or a Q&A or something with people that work at Wizards, a lot of questions just aren't being answered. Like, is there going to be 4-player, or when is there going to be 4-player, or there's a lot of these things that are just older questions that were put off or haven't been addressed recently. There's a lot of questions about, okay, how come the MMR in Mythic is just very odd? Why don't we have longer wait times to accommodate for people at closer MMR? Things of that nature. We're just not, people aren't asking that question, or if they are, they're not getting any reply. So I was trying to get in contact with them just so I could ask some general questions that just haven't been answered. There was even one point where I tried to ask them if I could use any of the digital assets of Magic Arena in order to include them in the YouTube videos that I'm making right now to just kind of make them better. For instance, the Star of Extinction animation where it just has the meteor coming down and exploding. Maybe if I use that for a scene transition, or maybe if I was, in the middle of doing a deck tech, if there was something about me talking about Star of Extinction, if it just threw that animation on there in some way, just to kind of like spice things up, just little quality improvements, right? That we're always trying to do in this channel. So I was like, hey, is it possible for us to use this, or is there a way to do this? Just asking general questions as a content creator to our creator team, like you should. No answers. No answers ever. I haven't gotten an answer since September 9th, 2020. I've not gotten a single person to contact me, period. So slowly but surely, they ended up completely eliminating all the challenges off stream elements. I'm sure it was just like a partnership thing, or at least that's kind of what they made it seem like. Yeah, we're not doing the partnership with stream elements anymore, so there's not going to be any more challenges. So basically that just meant that we're not going to get any free gems, which, it sucks, but whatever. I actually have the individual card rewards, the ones that are uncommons that can go up to mythics. I have codes for those in every single YouTube video, and I have since I've been in the creator program for over a year now. I've basically just been doing that in my YouTube videos. That's how I got rid of the codes. I don't redeem them myself, obviously. But I don't like advertise that I put it in there very frequently. I just kind of say it from time to time. But I think maybe I have 4 or 5 months worth of codes still. I don't know. My editor will probably tell me how many days I have it left with those somewhere in the video on the screen here somewhere. But yeah, it sucks because you all are going to miss out on those codes once that runs out. That was also the easiest way to apply for the early access system. That's how they were like sending all the emails, I believe, to the content creators in the creator program and stuff like that. So once they severed that connection, what they ended up doing now is that they created a early access Discord server, which was just for the content creators, which they always do for the new sets. They always have an early access Discord server for like technical support, account support, whatever may go wrong during the early access events, because there's always something, right? So after over a year of getting these invites to the early access, every single set, so I don't even know how many they've been, like 5 or 6 at this point, you just kind of expect it, especially when their announcement initially said, hey, we're doing this, it's going to be permanent. Every single time there's a new set, they give us early access, blah, blah, blah. Most of the time, it usually comes about a week in advance where we actually get our accounts that say, okay, here's how you log in. Here's the download link to actually get the client, because the client is connected to a different server. I'm assuming it's the stage server and not an actual production server. Obviously, it wouldn't be a production server. So it's probably like a stage server, something they haven't fully tested to push it out to production yet. But that's where we get connected. That's how we get all of our information. It all goes through that. And so when they decided to switch everything over to a Discord server, they said they were going to send out DMs to give everyone that information. I was like, okay, that seems a little bit less efficient because you can have automated systems that do it with email, but that's irrelevant, right? So flash forward to April 12th, where early access was supposed to be on the 14th. I get an email on my way home from getting my first vaccine appointment. I get an email from the Wizards creators team. And I was like, oh, cool, we finally got the email. It took forever because 2 days in advance. I was like, gee, I was starting to get worried, right? So I open it up and it's like, hey, we're canceling the program. Like, what do you mean you're fucking canceling the program? So I'm sitting there like 11, 12 hours ago, I just submitted my time off request for Wednesday so that I could play on the early access. Now, usually they have us the information on how to log in and stuff a week prior, usually before, but it's like a week prior. They usually actually get us the information, but they say, hey, we're getting it to you. Just be patient. That's what they usually tell us. So, Monday rolls around, halfway through, I was like, okay, I'm just going to assume that they'll give us this information. So I was like, I can't wait any longer. I will put in my time request form now because I'm just assuming that they're going to give us the information eventually, right? So I put in my time request off form today, Monday, the fucking 12th at noon. So the email reads, greetings, ! Notice how it doesn't say my name. Thank you for being an integral part of our Magic community and for your previous participation in MTGA Arena Creator Program and Early Access events. As we continue to build our community program to support the creators across multiple platforms, Wizards has made the difficult decision to discontinue the Early Access program going forward. The Creator Program Discord will remain active and serve as a hub for all future creator opportunities going forward. We understand that news is disappointing. To help you celebrate the launch of Strixhaven School of Magic on MTG Arena, we're distributing 40 codes. It's so hard to read this without this is ridiculous. We're distributing 40 codes that each redeem for one Strixhaven booster pack so you can use to drive engagement on your channels and share with your community at launch. Codes will become redeemable on April 15th at 9 a.m. Pacific. Additionally, when we launched the Discord, we had messaged you to receive 5 additional codes, also added those below for a total of 45 booster packs. You could use however you'd like. Thank you for your support. We look forward to working with you at the events in the future. Regards, Wizards Community Team. And then they listed off a bunch of codes. In the early access Discord server, there is currently about 310 people in there. I don't know if people have left, but there is currently one Wotc employee that I can see. There might be a couple more hidden, but there's at least one that I know of. So regardless, there's about 300 people in here. Now, out of these 300 people, there's approximately 25 of them that can actually do full-time content creation like Magic the Gathering, YouTubing, or whatever full-time as their job. The rest of the people most likely have either they go to school full-time, live with their parents, or whatever, have a day job. So they have to plan around this. They actually have to take time off work. Even the people that are streamers, they usually plan stuff around this. They've made marketing material to say, hey, I'm streaming early because I have early access to this. They're trying to put it out there, trying to make it a big event, things of that nature. However, a lot of the people that are taking time off for these days now have nothing to show for it. They can't do anything for these days off. They don't have early access anymore. They could have promised their community early access, and now they don't get it. And I get it. Promising things that you don't have confirmation on is never good, which I would never actually do. I think people have asked if I had early access, and I just said I always have early access, which I do always have early access, but since there is no early access this time at all, I still technically do always have early access, like when it exists. But it was just like an implied thing. Like I always have early access, so I will have it if it exists. So unless it doesn't exist, so under my impression and everyone else that follows me, everyone assumed that I would have early access, right? Now, also for me, now this is probably way more of a me issue than anyone else issue. And I guess I should be more pissed off at myself about this. But for one of my highest ranks as a YouTube member, you can actually redeem it for first dibs on the brew around a card for early access. So since early access only comes once every 3 months, it's more of an illustrious tier. It's my highest tier that I have as a member on YouTube. And it says, okay, if you're a member of this, you actually get to choose the cards or the first card that we brew around on early access. So you're like the top of the top of the top priority because you're supporting the channel so much, right? And so people have been using that to utilize this capability. But now I can't provide that value to them. So I advertise something that I can't deliver. So now I look like a fucking asshole. But it's one of those things to where I was told that it's permanent. I was told that it was always going to go on. Like, you sign a contract. It's publicly announced that it's always going to happen. Just kind of assume it's there. And I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about that part. I still, like, me as myself, I want to fucking blame Wotc because it's bullshit. I don't think that that's okay. However, coming from an outside perspective, like if I was just a random person watching this YouTube video, I'd be like, no, you're a fucking idiot for trying to charge somebody for a service that you're not directly in charge of. In which case I would probably agree with you. But it was like a reliable service. At least I thought it was. The other things that I've been trying to do for, I don't know, over a year now is I've been trying to get a preview card. That was always one thing that I thought was really cool. I wanted a preview card that was land destruction based if possible. Obviously, if you follow the channel, I really like land destruction. In the last 2 sets, there's been a ton of land destruction cards, and I have not been able to touch any of them. I haven't even been made aware of them. So on Cleansing Wildfire, which was 2 sets ago, I actually messaged the creator program and I was like, hey, this is a land destruction card. How come I didn't? Because I've actually emailed them before every set came out. It said, hey, can I have a preview card? Can I have a preview card? I want I want a land destruction preview card. I want a land destruction preview card. Give me a land destruction preview card. I'm like asking for it. They're like, oh, we don't have any more preview cards this time. We'll keep you in mind for next time. Whatever bullshit excuse that they always give, the marketing excuse. But I never, ever, ever got contacted for a card preview. And so I was just under the impression that I was on like a naughty list, right? I just assumed that, because of my swearing and the whole fucked up Friday thing, I don't know, maybe I just assumed that I wasn't brand friendly, for Wotc. And I was like, okay, all that's fine. But if you want to tell me, hey, you're not really brand friendly, so we can't give you a card. We're keeping you in the creator program because you have a good following and we like what you do. It's just, it wouldn't look good for the advertisers. If they said something like that, I'd be like, totally get it. Cool. That's it. Like, I'd be over it. I'm over it now because I really don't care, but that's besides the point, right? It's just ridiculous how I can't even get an answer. I can't get anything from them at this point. So after a while of me constantly asking them, because if you're asking, that's the easiest way to get something, is at least probe them to find out what information. Okay, what do I need? Do I need to be a Twitch partner? Okay, I'm a Twitch partner. Do I need a certain amount of followers? Okay, I have a certain amount of followers. Do I need a YouTube channel? Okay, I have a YouTube channel. Blah, blah, blah. And so I have all this stuff. I have some type of credentials. Like some people in the community know me. I'm known more for like land destruction, right? And so a new card comes out, Waking the Trolls, and it's announced by some random tech company that I've never even heard of, but it's like a random ass tech article company. And I don't know, it's just it feels like they are literally blackballing me for the most part, because I also have not gotten a host from them. Because if you're a content, like an actual content creator in the sponsored content creator program for Wotc, they put you on a host list for their Twitch channel. And so if you're live and you're in like a rotation, they will host you, which will boost your viewership up a lot, et cetera, et cetera. It's really, really good for your channel for a little bit, especially if you're a small creator. They haven't done that to me in, I don't know, it was like 8 months until the cut of communication and the complete ghosting last year. Turns out it came from the company, I guess, just restructuring the content creator program or the team, because as far as I know, not a single person on that team actually works there anymore. So like for the company period. I don't know exactly what happened, but it seems like they completely blew it up, right? So once the new Discord server was made, I reached out to the only person that I know who's the influence manager and said, hey there, the only other person I used to speak with at the creators platform no longer works with the company, so I don't exactly know who to contact anymore. You're the only one. I've also tried to get in touch with press email and the creators email, but I can't seem to get in touch with anyone. Currently, I'm attempting to get in touch with a project manager or a dev to conduct an interview, talk through some questions and features that the community as a whole has, right? However, I'm also getting small, tiny hints that I might be on the naughty list of Wotsies. I've been asking for card reveals for several sets for the last year. I'm a Twitch partner, but still nothing. If you could look in that for me, that would be much appreciated. 2 days later. Literally 2 days later. I get hosted by Magic. And I sent that at night, so really it was about 1 day later. I get hosted by Magic. I get zero response from him. But I get hosted by Magic 1 day later. And keep in mind that I have not gotten hosted from Magic within about a year period before that. Very coincidental. Very, very coincidental, right? Then, to the same person, about 11 hours prior to me getting the email, I said, hey, I still haven't gotten Wednesday off work because I don't know if I'm getting early access or not. I assume that I am since I'm still in the Discord server, but there isn't an email or anything that I've received yet. You've probably gotten a billion of these messages already, but can you confirm that if I'm in the Discord server, I'll be in the early access just so that I can take the day off work, right? I asked that, still nothing, but I was like, you know what? They'll get to me. Of course I'll be in it. There's always early access. They said it was permanent. I always get it. They'll get to us, right? They'll get to it. So silly me, I pencil in my time off request form, give it to my manager. And I'm like, hey, I know it's last minute, but hopefully it's okay. And he's like, all right, sure, we'll make it happen, but we got to reschedule your performance review. Because obviously there's meetings that you have that are going on all the time, and the early access stuff is something that I don't want to miss because I haven't missed it before, except the old drain one because I was in the hospital, but that one doesn't count, right? But I didn't, obviously didn't want to miss it, and rescheduling the performance review seemed like it was fine. It didn't really matter, so I rescheduled it. 11 hours later, sitting here, and I'm like, okay, well now I just look like a fucking idiot, and I look kind of like an asshole. So, now I took the day off, rescheduled some meetings. 11 hours later, I don't need the day off. I didn't need to reschedule those meetings. So I rescheduled the meetings for absolutely no reason. I inconvenienced other people for something that never should have happened. maybe this is all just a me problem and I'm just being selfish about it and I should just get over it. However, I don't like inconveniencing other people at my day job. Maybe you all do, but doing that and then having to go back on it literally 11 hours later is kind of fucking frustrating. And I can't imagine other people if they did the time off months in advance, or if they had to wait until last minute like I did and then just got fucking cucked. I don't know. I don't think it's being selfish at this point. They said that they're canceling all of them ongoing. All of them going forward. So it's not even like, yeah, some shit happened, so we have to cancel this one. They're like, no, we're never doing it again. Which means there was definitely some thought process put into this one. They just didn't fucking tell anybody until 36 hours prior to when it would normally happen. As of 2:21 a.m. Pacific time or Wotc time, they have still not updated the content creator Discord server, which they should be able to. Not every content creator has gotten the email. It seems like they're sending them out manually. They do have to manually change, or I don't know why they would manually do it, but they do have to add the codes at the end of each email. Even though they're not even putting in people's names and trying to address people and treat them as like humans, they're just like, here's an email blast, have codes, right? Like if they wanted to do that, they could have just sent a blast to everyone and then said, we will send you a separate email with codes. And then that would have felt just the same, except it would have been better because a lot of people, I guess, got codes 6 hours before I did. I didn't even fucking know about it. And some people still don't have codes. As far as I know, CGB doesn't have his code or his email yet. And it's just like, it's fucking insane. It is fucking insane how they took this goddamn long to send out emails. They can't even send out a mass thing of emails. They can't even put people's names on the emails. All right, that's petty. All right, that's me being petty, but that's still fucked up. They haven't announced it on Twitter. They're not replying to anyone on Twitter. They're not talking to anyone on Discord. They're not replying to anyone on Discord. They're not replying to anyone's emails. They're not doing fucking anything. They sent out some emails. They're trickling emails down, and they're ignoring everybody. At this point, it really just feels like they're saying, fuck you, content creators. But for the most part, we kind of always felt that they were like, fuck you, content creators. And that's pretty much how it was all the time. We never really ever got answers from them outside of them saying, hey, we need you to do a free advertisement for us. Here, you promote this card for us. Here, you sell this product for us. Here, you advertise this. Here, you can be our marketing team. We are not going to pay you anything. We are not doing anything for you. We are allowing you to play our game online. We are making a game still. We are like, they didn't give a fuck about content creators. They were taking advantage of us. That's all they did. And regardless of whether you think that's that way or not, that's literally what it is. They were having people market for them, and they weren't paying shit. Like, they weren't paying people to do that. They were just saying, hey, you want to do a card reveal? Here, have it for free, right? And I know I said, hey, I want a card reveal, right? And which I did for the most part, but only if it was land destruction, right? If it wasn't a land destruction card and they weren't paying me, I'd say, fuck you, right? Because I'm not just going to do something for free. I would do it for free if it was something like a land destruction card, but they just didn't care, and they didn't set any type of requirements for it. They put zero thought process into it. They were just like, oh yeah, we'll do this. People will eat it up. They gathered zero data from it. They're like, early access. Yeah, let's just set it up and let's throw it out there. They just gave it to so many people. They didn't make anything exclusive. So it just felt like a clusterfuck of everyone can have it, which for the most part, if you were an affiliate on Twitch, you could get you could get in the creator program. It was super, super easy. It's not difficult. It was not difficult at all. So, I don't even know what to say. It was just, they never really cared about the content creators. They never supported us. They never asked what we needed. They were never like, hey, let's do a content creator event. Let's do a giant collab. Let's have a bunch of creators get together and do something. Like, they never fucking did anything. They didn't care. They cared about the 10 big names. Sometimes. But again, only when they did it for marketing purposes. And that's all they did. They really didn't care. So for the most part, the early access program, the fact that it's gone, I'm not super hung up on, because again, the numbers for viewership were fucking atrociously low. So that part doesn't really bother me. It's the fact that it took them so long to announce that it's never going to happen again. They haven't replied. They still have not replied to anything that I've tried to send them since September of last year, which, let's see, 7 months? And I thought maybe as a content creator, and they're always trying to make the content creator better, like I would get some type of reply. Like, you have a creators@wizards.com. I can't even get a reply, even though I'm a creator. That shit is so fucking annoying. The whole thing, the whole situation is just not good. So yeah, in short, I guess to wrap up the whole video, fuck you, Wizards. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to this point, it means you either really enjoyed the video or you fell asleep and I'm waking you up now. Either way, thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, come out with videos 7 days a week.